What to do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Let's get right off into this. So, according to Adi Boone show off, you're just a liar who talk real good and can tell a good story, and you're very persuasive in getting people to believe you. That's what he said. You did an excellent job. How about a round of applause? Standing ovation. That's what he said. Now, with that being said, I thought the interview you did on 15 Minutes of Fame, it was very informative. You told a lot of things. You opened up a lot of things. I have no problem with it. It was only one thing about that interview I did have a problem with that I just totally didn't agree with you about show off. And I believe it was when you said you was there for him, but not like he's saying. You was like, when you in jail, you don't care about having money on your books. All you care about is if there's a phone line for you where you can make three-way calls or getting letters. I totally disagree with that. That's definitely not true. 9 times 10, when you asking people to make three-way calls for you in jail, to have a phone line, you trying to reach out to somebody to put money on your books. That didn't make no sense to me at all. By you being a brother who was locked up in jailing before, like, how is it that you don't understand the major part of jailing is making sure you got finances on your books to get you through? In most prison facilities, when money is on your books, you don't have to worry about three-way calling. You can call by taking money off your book and account and put them on the phone to call people for you. As long as money on your books, you always got a phone line. Not only that, though, it's important to have money on your books when you locked up, if you're able to have that or you're fortunate to have that. The last meal that's served in prison is at like 5:30. Then meals is done. You don't get another meal for another 12 hours. And 9 times out of 10 in prison, ain't nobody going to sleep early. It's prison, where the noise don't even really stop. So people don't really go to sleep till nighttime, late at night. So the last meal is done at 5:30 to 6 o'clock max. And then the next time you eat is at 6 o'clock to 5:30 in the morning. That's 12 whole hours, bro. So imagine not having no commissary, no money on your books, no zuzus or wham whams, that's what they call it. No zuzus or wham whams in your locker, in your storage, because you have money on your books. And the next time you got to eat is 12 hours later. No, I didn't agree with that at all. That didn't make no sense. I don't see how you even said that, bro. I'm like, did he just say niggas don't care about having money on their books when they locked up? All they care about is having the phone line. Hell with a phone line. I don't care about calling nobody. I'd rather have money on my books when I'm able to bust moves and make the best of my time because I got money on my books that I'm able to order a radio, TVs, headphones, jogging suits, gym shoes, socks, drawers, and get to eat. See, a lot of y'all don't know that though. So the last meal is served at like 5:30 to 6 o'clock. Max. Max. You ain't eating dinner in prison at 8 or 9 o'clock like you on the street. No. 5 o'clock in the afternoon. 5 o'clock p.m. Look, that's when dinner is served. Like on some lunch type stuff. After that, you're done. If you ain't got no food in your locker, you done for 12 hours. But the crazy thing about it, usually at 8, 9, 10 o'clock, after that time, that's when people who got money on their books start to cook and use the microwaves at 9, 10 o'clock to make their own little meals and hookups. I didn't get why would you even say something like that? That was crazy, bro. I'm like, oh no, that's a lie. Totally disagree with that. Totally disagree with that. And then, not only that, y'all remember I told the story? Let me see how far y'all go back. Do y'all remember I told the story when I was in prison and I ain't had no money on my books because the family wasn't looking out for me and things like that? And how I just be reading my Bible sometimes? And there was one time I was real hungry. The last meal was done and everything. That 12 hours I was telling you about. And I have nothing in my locker. And I wasn't used to asking nobody nothing and asking people for stuff and none of that. You know what I'm saying? And I was in a single cell. I ain't have a roommate. I was in a cell by myself because once you've been there so long, you get to move. You move up when one man cells become open. And I had been there long enough to the point that it was my turn next to get a single cell. So at this time, I had a single cell. I went from being in a room with 3 people to now being in a room by myself. So I was in there hungry, and nobody knew I was hungry. I'm the only one who knew I was hungry. I never showed I was hungry. I didn't walk around looking hungry. I kept my hygiene up, everything, so you would think that I had money on my books. You know what I'm saying? But I was real hungry. And the only person who knew it was God at that time. The last meal was done and over with, and I didn't have nothing in my locker to eat, fix, and cook while people were cooking. So I said to myself, I'm just going to keep reading my Bible until I go to sleep. So I kept reading my Bible. But while I was reading my Bible, I was talking to God in my heart. I was like, I wasn't saying it audibly. I was speaking within myself. I was like, God, I'm so hungry. Y'all remember the story I told the story? I said, God, I'm so hungry. I was so hungry, I wanted to cry, man. Because I thought it was shameful and sad that all the love I had showed people out there and all the people I looked out for, that it wasn't nobody looking out for me. But you know what? It was okay, because as a man, I was saying to myself, like, can't blame nobody, because I shouldn't have put myself here. That's how come I knew the harder my time was, the more I had made up in my mind, I would never put myself back in this situation again. And God wanted me to see that nobody would be able to get me through this but Him. He didn't want nobody helping me. He didn't want nobody, for the most part, out there in the world relying on, for me to rely on, to provide for me while I was locked up. He didn't want that. He wanted me to see that He had me, that He would provide for me, and He was teaching me who He was. And He was showing me a lot of things. And while I'm reading the Bible and I'm talking to Him in my heart about how hungry I am, there was a knock on my door by one of the most rudest, obnoxious dude in the prison. I used to hate to see him coming, man. I never even really talked to him. He's one of them fools that you just avoid. He be so loud, you know what I'm saying, and always got something smart and disrespectful to say to everybody. Just one of those type fools. You get what I'm saying? And he knocked on my door, and I didn't know it was him, because I was busy reading my Bible. I said, who is it? He said, it's Riley. I was like, man, I'm not feel like being bothered with dude. I'm irritated and I'm hungry too. He said, I said, come in. He came in. He said, you hungry? I said, yeah. It took a lot for me to say yeah, because I usually don't do that type of stuff. But this was one of those times I was just so hungry. He said, here, I bought this for you. Gave me a big bowl full of food. more than enough. I couldn't even eat it all. Then he told me he didn't even believe in God. He was an atheist. He told me, he said, I was laying down and something told me to get up and cook. He said, I went to go cook. And then I heard something say, take that to Malachi. Keep in mind, I ain't this man friend. He got friends, he got guys. And his friends and guys, they ain't got money like that. A lot of guys will be up under people like him so that they can eat with him. See, y'all who have been in prison, y'all know this too. People be meeting guys who got money, be cool with them because they ain't got no money because they know as long as they got something, they got something. And that nighttime when they cooking up meals and hookups, they be right there wanting to eat with them. And sometimes they'll get jealous and envious and mad at you for them looking out for you because they feel that now you taking away from them what they would really got. Like people do on the streets when they want to be close to the man. They get salty that he got other people that still want that all y'all trying to buck for the same spot to earn his favor. So you get real salty when he looking out for somebody else because you saying to yourself like, man, you could have gave that to me. I would have did that for that. So that's how that was with him. We didn't even talk. He gave me that food. He didn't even know what he was telling me. God was already letting me know because he didn't know what I was sitting in my room thinking about. He didn't know what I was talking to God about. And it's funny, like soon I'm talking to God about it, God was already working on it. And I didn't even know. I didn't even know. See what I'm saying? And then when he came and said that, all that, and I'm like, God, it's something else. He already had it. He already was working on it. It already was being done. He just was testing my faithfulness. Like, look at him. Look at my son. He gonna read this Bible till he go to sleep because he hungry, because he don't think. And then what's funny about God, he got such a sense of humor. He could have had anybody do that. He chose one of the most rudest, disrespectful, obnoxious people to do that and bring that to me. And that even showed me something. Like, you don't know who I use. I make your enemies love you. I make a person who hates you bless you. See, it was even the teaching in that. So don't turn people away because you never know who I might be sending your way. I already turned that man away because I ain't want to talk to him. And all along he was coming because God was sending him to bless and provide for me. Even though he don't even believe in God. He didn't even know God was using him. He think he was doing that on his own. I knew what was happening. Like, wow. Come on now. That's all I'm saying, man. Money do matter when you're in prison, and you got commissary on your books. You got commissary on your books, you ain't got to worry about busting moves and getting yourself in trouble and doing all that stuff because you don't have it. We'll be sitting there, man, at the child hall, knowing we ain't really got money on our books, stealing toast, stealing eggs, stealing fruit. But we know, like, man, I ain't finna eat all this because I'm going to be hungry later on. I'm finna steal these 2 eggs, put these 2 eggs in my pocket. Or I'm finna steal this peanut butter and jelly or eat the rest of this sandwich later. Gelling. So I didn't agree with you on that. Other than that, bro, I felt it. But that part right there, you were way, way off. I don't think nobody would agree with you. Man, everybody wants some money on their books when they locked up. Talking about people don't care about having money on their books when they locked up. All they care about is having a phone. Man, you keep that damn phone. I can't eat the phone. If you're hungry enough, you would try to eat it. Like, man, that phone looking good, man. It might take. Shoot. But you got some money on your books, man. Yeah, I ain't thinking about family. I ain't thinking about that stuff like that because I can't change it anyway. When I got money on, man, when I got money on my books, man, I'm sitting up here stressing and worried that my girl, she out there getting boned by guys, and I can't be with my kids. You know what you would do? What do everybody do when they depressed? For the most part, you go eat. But if you ain't got no commissary, now you just depressed and hungry. At least I had something to eat. You know, when I was hungry, when I was depressed, like, oh, she cheating, messing around with the homies. Man, I need something sweet to eat, man. I'm finna go eat me a honey bun or sneaker. You gonna be here for a while? Yeah. Bite into a sneaker. Man, I need a snicker, man. I need some sweets, man. I'm about to go crazy in here. And brothers love their coffee. Coffee was like a drug in there. You should know that. Coffee was sort of like having a cigarette. They go crazy over them coffee, cigarettes, and stamps. But it is what it is, man. It's your boy Battle Truth. It ain't my judgment. That's a question. It's yours. Hit the link in the description box, man. That's the only thing I really had a problem about. That part. Other than that, dope interview, man. You really put it out there, man. It's your boy Battle Truth. It ain't my judgment. That's in question. It's yours. Subscribe to Battle Truth. And remember, as I drop on YouTube, I'm also dropping on the Patreon. It ain't going to never be a time I drop on YouTube and I'm not dropping on the Patreon. So click the link in the description box that says Patreon and join my Patreon. Support your boy. It ain't my judgment that's in question. It's yours.